you doing?
What? Cleaning that? Why? What does it look like I'm doing?
What are we doing?
Welcome back to G-Tech Motorworks, guys. Today we've got another common problem video for you, and it is the Mark 6 Volkswagen Polo. So we are starting with the notorious engine problems with these Polos. We will start with the petrols and then we'll move on to the diesels. So this is the 1 litre TSI engine, 1000 horsepower, not really. It's about 67 horsepower if you're lucky, straight out the box. 0 to 60 in about 3 weeks. The problem with this one in particular is the turbo actuator. Very common, electronic module actuates the turbo. They usually fail, and that's why this one is here today. We have replaced it. That one is now officially hooked. So that's that. Timing chain tensioners, they always fail on these guys and cause a misfire and an engine light on. So that's another thing you need to be looking out for. A very, very common one on the petrol engines we've seen is the variable valve unit, also known as the VVTi unit. They often stick in certain angles on intake and exhaust side and cause an engine light to come on, misfire. Very, very common. So we do them all the time as well. That's another thing to look out for. Onto the diesel version of these beautiful vehicles. We have injector faults as usual. We also have the push rods fail on the fuel pumps. They quite commonly fail. We've seen a few of them at G-Tech Motorworks. Sticking EGR valves, going to cause you running issues, engine lights on, misfiring, excess smoke in some cases. Now a big one that you might have heard up and down the internet, we definitely see it a lot here at G-Tech, AdBlue. Shit idea, pig piss in the DPF. It's basically a shit idea, right? AdBlue, I don't like AdBlue because they cause a lot of problems, and funnily enough a lot of the dealers can't even fix them. I know about that, trust me. So we've had customers complaining about my car's been at the dealers for 5 months and 29 days and it's not fixed. There's loads of components with the AdBlue system. So you've got an AdBlue reductor tank, which is in the tank. You've got an AdBlue injector and a control module, and then it's all linked together with the nitrogen oxide system. It's just one big problem, basically. The idea of it is to inject this pig piss inside the DPF. I can't actually show you on this one because this is a petrol, but I will show you or tell you roughly how it works. It injects this urea, which is basically piss, into the AdBlue, into the DPF, and it crystallizes, and the idea of it is when it gets warm it basically burns off the soot inside the DPF. So that's roughly how the AdBlue system works. It is a shit idea in my opinion. The dealers have spent millions, the manufacturers have spent millions, billions of pounds designing it. It does work in some cases. The problem we've had is customers are complaining it's counting down. This shit counts down, so like it's like the film In Time, like you got like less time on your hands. Counts down like 300 miles and I ain't gonna start. And that's what happens. You know, the poor customers are like, I've got 300 miles and my car won't start. And actually it doesn't start. We are moving on to the mechanical common problems with these Mark 6 Polos on the petrols and the diesels. So they come equipped with a sequential manual gearbox. Not really. They come with a 5-speed granny box, or the DSG box, which is no better, to be honest with you. They're absolutely shit. The DSG boxes in these always have issues with mechatronics. We see them all the time. In fact, I've got one in there right now. So that's how common they are. Mechatronics fault, so it'll start skipping gears and all the gear lights will come on and it'll just crunch and blow up and die. So gearbox problems are common. On the manual side of things, better than the DSG box in my opinion, because there's a lot less to go wrong. Slave cylinders always fail on these. They're pretty weak. They always fail. And the master cylinders we have seen a few times they fail as well. Still with mechanical faults, guys, front wheel bearings, very common problem with these. What are the symptoms of a failed front wheel bearing? So at around 30 to 40 miles an hour, you'll hear a that kind of sound, and it's very annoying. They're quite weak, the wheel bearings on these. We see them all the time. So that's another common problem with the Mark 6 Polo. Now, we have seen the rear brake discs on these, well, the drums on some of the basic models, they always don't work properly and start catching and stuff. So we regularly, when these come in for a service, we always strip them down and adjust them. But shit idea, they don't really work properly. Whilst we're on the mechanical subject, guys, there is a recall, a TPI on these for the rear seatbelt buckles. There's some kind of issue with them, which again is a common problem. They don't work properly. So if yours is illegible, you'll get a letter from Volkswagen Audi Group through your door saying, come and visit our lovely showroom. And finally, we are on to the common electrical faults with the Mark 6 Polo. So one of the major ones we see here all the time is the multimedia system. Now, what tends to happen is we're continuously having to do software updates on these, because with all the new mobile phones coming out, the system just can't keep up with the updates. So it keeps crashing. Your Bluetooth won't connect, Apple CarPlay won't work, Android CarPlay won't work. So it's all just one big problem. Updates, we do them here at GTEC Motorworks. So if you're having that issue, give us a call, we can get that sorted for you. Still on electrical problems, central locking faults. We see quite a few of these. You'll come to the car, unlock it, guess what, your door won't open, and you'll go, ah! Another problem, usually the catchers, they draw in too much current. Same issue with the fuel flaps. They have a solenoid, and obviously you'll try and open it, it won't open, and the solenoid stick, very common problem with the Mark 6 Polo. Condensation on the headlamps. Now this one, fortunately, doesn't have that issue, but usually you get like a smear of mist here. What can I say? Shittily sealed headlights from factory. This is obviously your basic model, so you know, I don't think they put as much effort into building these, which is a bit shit. They should do, but they usually go around the seals. You get condensation. In some cases, we have had to put a new headlight in. You can get away with it sometimes if you seal it up and then put one of those silica bags, looks like a tea bag, that you get in your trainers. So there's a little hack for you. Bit of tape on the back of the, where the, you know, the cover is for the headlight. If you tape that in there, should get rid of your condensation. I told you that for free. You heard it here at GTEC Motorworks. So there you have it, guys. They were some of the common problems with the Mark 6 Polo. Thank you for tuning in and watching all our videos. Please like, share and subscribe. I wasn't taking a piss, by the way, earlier. I was taking the piss, so I was just cleaning the wheel. So there we are, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Stay subscribed. See you soon.